Hello everyone, after 10 months of you guys asking and asking, we are finally making a video all about my tiny van kitchen. So this video is going to be jam-packed with information. We're going to include things like food and water storage, how much we spend on groceries per month, and also all the utensils that we bring with us in the van to cook. And because there is so much information in this video, we are going to have time tags for you guys available in the description box so you guys can find exactly what you're looking for. Alright, so today it is just me talking. We decided that you only need one person to go through all this information, so we landed on me doing it. So Chad is just sitting on the floor, so he is here, just not in front of the camera. But let's get started. We have a lot to talk about. Alright, so before I get into that, I do want to say that a lot of these things that we've brought with us in the van aren't the most practical for van life. They were just things that we had lying around in our apartment beforehand, and we didn't want to spend any more money, so we were just using what we had. So if some things are like kind of big and bulky in your opinion, it's just because that's what we had around. Alright, so the very first category is all the kitchenware we bring with us in the van. Alright, so we'll start with utensils. We have 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 Asian spoons, 2 knives, 2 pairs of chopsticks, 1 peeler, 1 bottle opener, 1 old-fashioned can opener, 1 straw cleaner, and then 2 measuring spoons, which I actually don't use for cooking. I actually use these to make our toothpaste. So all of these utensils are obviously for 2 people. We usually don't have many guests around, so it works out pretty well. And what's great about this is that they can all pack into this cute little bag and they store away very small. Alright, so next up is kitchenware, and this includes things like pots, pans, strainers, etc. So we carry 2 pots with us, a small one and a big one. We have 2 pans with us, a small one and a large one. We bring 2 lids with us, and what's so great about these is that they fit on both the pots and the pans. We bring 1 strainer with us for straining noodles and rinsing out vegetables. We bring 1 cooking knife with us, and I actually made this special little knife holder that has been very convenient. I just used cardstock and some duct tape, and it has lasted this entire trip. And then also, these were supposed to go in the utensils, but I don't keep them in that bag just because they're so sharp. But we do have 2 steak knives, and I also made little coverings for them. I have 2 measuring cups, a 1/3 cup and a 1/4 cup. We have 1 oil dispenser. And then lastly, the cooking utensils, we have 1 spatula, 1 rubber scraper, and 1 wooden spoon. So that is all the kitchenware that we bring with us in the van. It all stacks very well and packs away better than you would think. And it also washes very easily, which has been really great for living on the road. So next up is dishware, and this includes things like cups, plates, and bowls. So we bring 2 mugs, and this actually works as our all-purpose cup. We can put hot beverages in here, cold beverages, it all works well. And I have one, and then Chad has one. We have 2 bowls, and these 2 are actually newer to our collection. We started off with some ceramic bowls because that's what we had in the apartment, but they both broke by month 7 or 8, and so we got these plastic ones that have been working really well. And then we bring 4 metal plates, and having the extra 2 plates has been really convenient for food prep or if we just need an extra plate for dessert later on. All of these things have served us really well, and like I said, I would recommend to not get anything that's ceramic because it will break. Alright, so lastly we have Tupperware. So we have 3 of these circle containers, and then we have 4 of these box containers. So this really big one holds all of our rice, and then these 3 just kind of hold miscellaneous raw ingredients or leftovers. And what's great about these is if we're not using them, these 2 small containers can actually pack into this big one, so it can store a lot smaller than what you see here. So the reason why we chose plastic containers over glass containers is that they are a lot lighter and also they won't crack while we're driving. So let's talk about where we store all of our kitchenware. So everything you just saw actually fits perfectly behind our flip out desk. So once you flip the desk out, there are 2 sections. There's a spice rack on the top, and then on the bottom, that's where we keep all of our pots and pans, our utensils, everything goes down there. And we've got a nice storage basket on the right that kind of helps keep everything organized. So on that top rack, we do have lots and lots of spices, and because you guys have asked what spices I carry, I have this lovely list for you, and you can look through and see what all I carry in my spice rack. Alright, so next up we're going to talk about water storage. So first off, This little guy, our favorite fella in the world. It's a 2.5-gallon water container, and why we love it so much is because it has a wide mouth on the top that makes it easy to refill, and it also has this nice spigot, which kind of makes it feel like it's a sink. All right, big heavy boy coming. Oh, all right, so this is our 6-gallon, and this is mostly for water storage. We don't drink from it. So we use this to refill the 2.5-gallon that you just saw. So this is our 2-liter platypus, and this is usually what we use on hikes. It slides into Chad's backpack really easily, and then it's got this little sucky thing that makes it easy to drink water on hikes.
Thank you for not saying nipple.
And lastly, of course, we have water bottles. Chad has this wonderful life straw that allows you to refill it from any source of water. And then I just have this really old water bottle that I got from a friend like 5 years ago. It's been everywhere with me, and I just can't seem to give it up. On average, with all of our containers full, we can go 3 to 5 days without refilling on water. So next up, we're going to talk about all of our food storage. So we store all of our food in 4 main places. The first place is actually this little shelf underneath our flip-out desk, and that is usually where we keep jarred goods and canned goods, and also propane. So the next place we store a lot of our food is the overhead shelf, and that is where we store a lot of dry goods and also a lot of our snacks. The third place we store food is actually in our collapsible sink that we don't use as a sink anymore. We use it to store all of our produce that doesn't need to go into the cooler. So lastly, of course, our cooler, that's where we store most of our food, anything that needs to be refrigerated like meat, milk, eggs, etc. So while we're on the topic of the cooler, let's talk about ice. Chad, how often do we get ice?
So for hot weather, it's about every 3 to 5 days. And then for cold weather, it's 5 to 7 days.
And how, Chad, do you keep the ice colder for longer?
So to keep the ice longer, you want to put the ice at the bottom. Then you put a layer of Reflectix, put all your food, produce, whatever, and then another layer of Reflectix. That has definitely helped us out. And it also keeps your food from getting really wet.
Also, just make sure that you drain the water frequently because I think that helps the ice stay cooler as well.
Yeah, it does.
And then if you ever do have the chance to get block ice, we've noticed that lasts a very long time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely get block ice if you have it.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
So how often do we grocery shop? Well, that definitely ranges. We've gone as little as 3 days, and then we've also gone as long as 8 days. It just depends on what kind of food you're buying. So if you have a lot of produce, those things will likely go bad. Whereas if you have a lot of canned goods, you can actually go quite a while without grocery shopping. So next we're going to talk about how much we spend on groceries, and we're definitely going to be very transparent with you guys about the amount that we're spending. And please do keep in mind, every single month we spend only $1,000 for the two of us, so it's kind of about $500 each. And groceries definitely have been costing the most for us every single month just because we don't really eat out as much. It is cheaper for us to eat in and have me cook. So let's get into how much we spent every single month up until month 10 in this van. So on the East Coast, we mostly shopped at Walmarts and Aldi's, and we also had a lot of friends on the East Coast that were so kind to have dinners with us and prepare meals, so we essentially didn't spend as much over on the East Coast. And on the West Coast, we mostly shopped at Trader Joe's and Walmart with no friends to help us out. All right, so don't mind me, I'm going to look at a phone just so I can give you the correct numbers. All right, so month 1, we spent $397.70, and we were passing through Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. Month 2, we spent $282.76, and we were passing through Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Month 3, we spent $343.50, and we were passing through Maine, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. Month 4, we spent $53.15, and we were passing through Kentucky and Tennessee, and we spent so much less this month because we went back home to reset the van, and that saved us a lot of money being with our parents again. Month 5, we spent $159, and we were in Georgia and Florida, and this month was a little bit less because we were only on the road for 2.5 weeks, and then we went back home for the holidays. Month 6, this is also when we started to head out west. We spent $283.46, and we were passing through Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and New Mexico. Month 7, we spent $462.30, and we were passing through Arizona, Nevada, and California. Month 8, our most expensive month, we spent $503.14, and we were passing through California, and that's it. But we did make a meal for 4 of our other friends for 2 meals, so that kind of like added a little bit more into the grocery list. Month 9, we spent $445.24, and we were passing through California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Utah again, and Colorado. And currently, month 10, we are in Colorado, and I don't have a budget ready yet because we are still in the month. I do want to note that in all of our grocery costs, we do include ice and propane. And speaking of propane, 1 can of propane can last us 4 to 8 days. And that's saying that we have 2 meals every single day. And the reason why we do have propane is because we use this Coleman stove. It's definitely really big, really heavy. We wouldn't have used it if we didn't already have it. And because we want to save the money, we just used what we had. But inside of the stove, we actually do store a couple things. So the first thing we store is the connecting piece that allows the propane to connect to the stove. And then we also have a lighter to light the stove. And then lastly, we have a tiny little cutting board. This is the only cutting board that we bring with us on the road, and it basically is just enough space to cut everything you need. So now let's talk about how we clean our dishes every single day. So we use this camp soap that's friendly to the environment, and then also this scrubby that has done us very, very well. And then lastly, of course, you gotta dry the dishes. This thing is honestly really gross. It used to be white. But we dry all of our dishes with this. At this point, it's kind of just pushing the water because there's so much oil in here that it's not really drying it. We might need a new dish towel soon, but that's what we've been using. I do believe we've covered everything, but if we somehow did miss something, just leave it in the comments below and Chad will answer that for you. But now for the rest of the day, we're actually going to have a fun little cooking montage since we're talking about my kitchen, and we'll end it with that. So quick pause in the video before we get into the cooking montage. I actually have some very, very exciting news for you guys. After months and months of you guys asking for a cookbook, I've finally decided to come out with a recipe collection. Woo! Woo! So over the span of 3 days, I sat down and wrote 24 recipes for you guys, and that includes 12 full meals, 1 easy on-the-go breakfast, and also 1 dessert that I've been perfecting for 12 years, which means that yes, I started it when I was at the age of 11. And what's also really fun is each recipe has a story that kind of connects me with you guys and kind of tells you how I came up with that recipe. And if you do want the cookbook, it will be released on our website towards the end of June. Anyways, we are gonna get back to the original video. Just want to give you guys a little update so you guys can get excited for that. And thank you to everyone who has cheered me on to making a little recipe collection. On the back. So tonight we'll be having something similar to the Indian butter chicken over rice, but instead of having it with naan, we are going to have it with rolls because that is just what we have.
I can almost slow down my breathing for the work starts again, for it starts again, again.
Whoa.
Listen to the birds in the treetops past my window ledge. I don't understand the language, no, but I like the sentiment. They're singing, calm yourself down. Why don't you take a minute, let the air go in and out. Calm yourself down. Might not take the time if you don't start now. Oh, calm yourself down.
I take
the back gate to the garden, past the waist high fence. Spend an hour with the sunshine on my mind, and let the universe spin. And let the universe spin. It's singing, calm yourself down. Why don't you?
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found everything in this video very informative. Everything has been working really well for us for the past 10 months in this tiny van. I hope it helps you guys if you are moving into a van and hoping to bring a kitchen along with you. So as I said earlier, if you do have any questions further about our kitchen on the road, do leave them in the comments. And also, if you really like these informative videos, do let us know what other topics you want us to cover. But until then, hopefully we'll have a travel video up for you next. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Miss you when you're gone. I miss you when you're gone, gone, gone.